So today we're going to be doing the No Disclaimers book tag, and I was tagged by the wonderful Leslie Curtix. I will link her video down below, and the original creator of this tag is Catalyst Reads. So without further ado, let's just jump into the questions. I did not prepare for this because I just wanted to say whatever came to my mind, so let's just see what I can come up with on the spot. Number one is, which trope or tropes in books annoy you the most? For me, this has to be sister hate. When siblings absolutely hate each other, it's very infuriating for me. I never feel like I can connect to that because me and my sister have a very wonderful relationship. I love her very much. And it's very rare that I see two siblings that actually love each other and don't sabotage each other for any other reasons, or like one of them is mean or something like that, or like they do this like tough love kind of thing. That is just super annoying to me. Number two is, which writers or writer do you think is overrated? So I'm gonna be completely honest, and I feel like this is gonna be a lot of people's answer but it's just the truth. Sarah J Maas, I love her books. I love the A Court of Thorns and Roses series, do not get me wrong, but the writing is not the best. Like, it's very basic writing. It is not the most amazing story ever written, but it is very fun to read if you like that type of book. It's very much like a guilty pleasure, and sometimes I will admit her writing annoys me. Like, I'll read a sentence and I'm like, that just sounds wrong. I would completely scratch that sentence, and I am not a writer. Number three is, what are your least favorite books after joining BookTube or since joining BookTube? And for this, I'd have to say Wintersong and Red Queen and Star-Touched Queen. Those three are just disappointments. I don't hate Red Queen, and I don't absolutely hate the Star-Touched Queen. Wintersong made me very mad because it was that type of book that had the potential of being a great book. It had wonderful writing. It was so beautiful. But then you had a really unlikable main character, and I feel like the world could have been developed more. It felt like very like, okay, this is the world that you have, just go on with it. But I feel like there could have been like more development in it. I think that is my lowest rated book. This year I gave it 2 stars, and the main character is, I've talked about this before, I'm not gonna say anymore. Same thing with Red Queen, it just disappointed me. I had been wanting to read Red Queen for the longest time. Everything that everyone said sounded amazing, but the execution failed for me. It was not, I gave it 3 stars. It was not bad. It's not a bad book. A lot of people might love it, and a lot of people do. It could be the book that you love. So whenever anyone asks, like, is this a book that I should read, I always say give it a try, because just because I didn't enjoy it doesn't mean that you won't. And I feel like a lot of people could enjoy. Why am I disclaiming? It's literally no disclaimers. Anyways, back to the roasting. It just disappointed me. It felt like all of the dystopians mashed together, and it did not work well. I was not interested in the love triangle. I was not interested in the main character. I found her very annoying and just like, ugh. And I was not entertained, and I had to force myself to read the book. Same thing with the Star-Touched Queen. It had wonderful potential. It had wonderful writing, but it was not entertaining for me. I did not care about the characters, I did not care about the plot, and it was very predictable. Same thing with Red Queen. It's just like, I want to be shocked. I want to, not be able to predict everything every step of the way. You know what I mean? Number 4 is, a terrible ending that ruined an otherwise good book. I feel like I'm gonna give 2 answers. A Court of Wings and Ruin. I kind of wish, and this could be a spoiler if you have not finished reading, but I just wish Rhysand died, and I think I'm the only one who's going to say that, because when I don't even remember the name of the thing, the little thing that helped Feyre, when it died, I cried. But I still cried when Rhysand was dying, but I kind of wanted him to stay dead. Just so it was like hard hitting and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe this happened, like what's gonna happen next? Like I would have loved that to happen. Or like someone from the main group, I just wish someone would have died. And along with the last book in the Vampire Academy series, I think that book is kind of a disappointment just because like it's been a while since I read it. I love the series. It's the series that got me into reading. I read it sophomore year of high school. Loved it ever since. It's one of the only series that I've reread. But that last book is always like, okay, like that's it. It's just overall disappointing and I just wanted like a bigger ending. You know what I mean? Number 5 is which fictional characters you wish were not killed off. I don't think I have an answer for this. I don't have an answer for this question just because I feel like every person who dies serves a purpose and like advances the story. So far in the books that I've read, the only one that I could possibly think of is in the 3rd book of Vampire Academy. Rose's best friend dies and that broke my heart. That was like I think that was one of the first deaths that I had read. Again, I don't have a very long history with reading. I started reading when I was in 8th grade. So when he died, that broke me. I loved him so much and I truly wish that he was still alive to see like through the end of it. I think he died in the 3rd one. Maybe he died in the 2nd one. It's been a while since I read the books, but now I want to reread them. Number 6 is what are your bookish pet peeves? And one of them, the biggest one, is reader shaming. I find that so annoying. Like, again, with Red Queen, if you love that book, I am so happy for you because no one wants to not like a book. And if just because I don't like it, I'm not going to be like, ew, you like that book? Yucks. Or like reading a certain genre or a certain age range, like, oh, you only read YA when you're an adult? Like, come on. No, that's like really annoying when people do that. Yeah, like even if you only read romance, go ahead and enjoy that romance. Read as much as you can, you know? That's really annoying. And when people shame about book conditions, here's the thing. I see both sides of the argument. I understand why some people get super angry when a book is ruined, but this is one of my favorite books. And I'm not saying like, oh, I'm right because it's well loved, but I don't mind that it looks like it's been read. I'm not saying like your books should look read. If you want to make them look pristine and new, then you do you. But like the spine is broken, it has tape everywhere, it's bent. It's been read by a lot of people because I give them this book all the time to read. It's been through a lot and I don't mind that. The same way that I have books that look like they have not been read. My Plain Jane, I read the heck out of this book. I was reading every single page with love. It is a hardback, so it's not going to get as damaged, but I don't mind like, oh, let me just like bend a page just so it looks read. No, I don't, you know? And when people like argue about that, it's just like, come on, like we could be talking about something else. Number 7 is books you feel should have more recognition, and for this one I have 2 answers. I have An Unkindness of Magicians by Kat Howard and Frostfire by Amanda Hawkins. These 2 I read this month and I absolutely love them. Frostfire is kind of about troll people and how they live in the real world. It's kind of an urban fantasy. And I really, really enjoyed this book. If you liked Vampire Academy, it is a little bit like that where they have a school system. It's not a school, it's kind of like the place where you work. Our main character is actually an adult, but it's still YA. And it was such a fun ride. It was nice and short, nice and sweet, and it did give me a lot of like Vampire Academy feelings, so I guess that's another reason why I loved it, but I never hear anyone talk about this. It was published a very long time ago, but I really, really enjoyed this book. And with An Unkindness of Magicians, I had been wanting to read this book for the longest time, and then I finally decided, okay, I want to read it, and then I had to push through like 50 pages. And a lot of people don't need to push through those 50 pages. It is a little bit confusing at first because I read the first page and then I read like a 50-year-old woman and I'm like, what? I thought the main character was like young. So you have to like, you know, let it develop. But when you do, it is amazing. It has a great friendship. It has very low-key romance, which I really, really enjoyed. And the magic system is amazing. It is nice and gory. I have annotated some things, and I definitely want to read this again so I can fully annotate it, because I was just reading and I wasn't thinking about annotating anything. And I just annotated things that I was like, oh my god, you know? Like, that made me say, oh my god. And everyone, like, I'm gonna do a review on this book soon. But like everyone has this in their bookshelf and it's just sitting, and I see the spine and I'm like, why have you not read it? Like, just pick it up and read it, you know what I mean? So read this one, please, if you have it. It's on Book Outlet. Like, come on. Number 8 is, what are your thoughts on censorship and banning books? So I feel like everyone's answer is going to be like, it shouldn't be done. I understand if you are in a Catholic school, I understand that, and I understand if you're in a school, like if you don't want that certain book in your school library, I can understand that. If it's like a very, very adult book, then you're like, ooh, these children shouldn't read this, if they're in middle school or something like that. But when it comes to the overall public and like strictly saying, oh, no one can read this, like we won't have this in our curriculum, just because they like challenge your views, I don't get it. You know what I mean? I think I've heard other people say this, but it is the role of the parent to, you know, look after the children and see what it is that they're reading, so that if they want to mold the child's mind in a certain way, then they don't read that book. I know a friend whose mom did not allow her to watch the Harry Potter movies or read the books because she was very religious and she did not believe in witchcraft. So she was not allowed to see any of those, like, any fantasy movies or any fantasy books. And, you know, as a parent, you have to respect other parents, but when it comes to government interventions, I don't agree. And last but not least is, who do you tag? I am going to tag Mika because I love her, and I'm going to tag her in every single tag that I do. I'm going to tag Ethan from Bookstrama. I'm going to tag Books with Chloe, and I'm going to tag Ali Carrera. So, oh, and Chandler Ainsley. I forgot. But yeah, those 5 people. All their channels will be down below. So yeah guys, that is all for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and comment down below. If you would like to be my friend, all of my social medias are down in the description box. And yeah, that's it for today. I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye guys!